Hi, Colby and Cutlery here from KCMG Real Estate Advisors and Downingtown Life. And today we are with Arianne Missimer, Dr. Arianne Missimer, at the Movement Paradigm.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Thanks for taking the time. So this is a beautiful building.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Tell us a little bit about how long you've been open and some of the services that you offer.
Yes, we've been here for 6 years, and we offer functional medicine, holistic physical therapy, and nervous system regulation.
Wow. So what does that mean?
Ultimately, we try to focus on whole body wellness through integrative and root cause medicine.
Okay.
So truly helping people that are having complex chronic pain or health conditions get to the root of their issues and focus on all areas of health.
Okay. So you have like the yoga side, you have physical therapy, you have, what else do you have kind of specific?
We have yoga, we have mindfulness, we have somatic therapy.
Walking groups, I know.
We have lots of
webinars.
Rocking group. Yeah, we have lots of events, workshops, speaking to the community, and then we have our individual services as well.
Cool.
But what kind of sets the Movement Paradigm apart? What makes it unique?
Yeah, so I think the biggest thing is that so many people are coming into a health setting and they are always treated in a reactive approach. So we're always looking at symptoms and we're never looking at why something actually happened to begin with. And so that's what we really try to focus on, is not just treating the symptoms, because we need to do that too, but then we're also looking to really understand why, so that someone can be well for a lifetime and truly prevent disease and thrive. That's what we really focus on, is surviving to thriving.
So do you have nutrition? You start from proactive, right? Instead of reactive or sick care, you're really focused on healthcare.
Yes, what healthcare we think healthcare should be.
Exactly. So explain a little bit about your nutritional approach.
Yes, so we have a 3-pillar approach. So mindset, nutrition, and movement. As it relates to the nutrition part, I like to think of nutrient optimization. So instead of always thinking about what can we take away to help with inflammation, we want to think of actually what we can add in, because so many people are deprived from nutrients at a cellular level. And that's truly what makes everything go. Everything run normally, efficiently, and truly make you feel great.
How do you approach that? What your diet is, what it should be, any symptoms that you're experiencing? How do you kind of troubleshoot and get down to the root cause of what should be added or taken away?
Yeah, so it really depends on clinical presentation initially, and then, what symptoms are you having? What lab tests are really showing nutrient deficiencies, for example?
That's great.
And then normally it's a phased approach. So it might be, let's add these nutrients in to really help you be able to metabolize your food better. And then there could be a phase where there is a therapeutic approach, so a specific therapeutic food plan that might be for a short term, and then integrating it into a more, overall lifestyle approach that's super individualized to you based on your activity, your likes, your preferences, your cultural, background. So all of the things that are important to you.
Sure. So I understand you had a personal experience as a cancer survivor. So
Sure did.
Can you kind of share with us how that influenced your approach to wellness and healthcare?
Yeah, so I was diagnosed with stage 3 liposarcoma, and this is my 10th year cancer-free. And although my purpose was very ingrained from an early age, because I lost my brother to cancer, he is the one that really gave me the inspiration to never take health or movement for granted, which is why I'm so focused on it. Having cancer myself really reaffirmed my desire to truly help people heal and be able to overcome their adversities, their challenges, and truly build resilience. I think I've already been on this track, but it just really ingrained it even more, that I believe that people can truly get better, and we have this innate capacity to heal if you do the right things.
Yeah, so I'm sure that a lot of those experiences, I started reading your book, I'm about 60% through.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
Wow. But so I'm sure a lot of those things, loss, especially of your brother and other family members, had an impact on the way that you approach your business here.
Yeah.
It's very personal approach. It's not like anything people I think have experienced before. So that kind of shapes your mission here, doesn't it?
100%. And I feel like, yes, all of my personal experiences and my personal purpose is so greatly aligned with what we do here, and that we try to meet people where they are. So if they're coming in with chronic pain, we're looking at their unique lived experiences and where they are emotionally right now. Is their nervous system regulated? Are they able to, take on a lot of exercises, or do they just need one simple thing? So really being able to meet them on their journey and help guide them to the next steps. I think sometimes holistic, which is an interesting word. It was a word that I didn't always really like to use, but because sometimes people think that means it's not medical. And we are evidence-based, evidence-informed practice. Every medical degree that I've gotten is all related to that. And with that, we also integrate these ancient practices that have been around for centuries that truly promote healing and wellness. I think that is the misconception, and that's where I think it's just a lot of education of bringing these worlds together and helping to truly look at the whole person and systems biology, how all the systems work together.
But to your point, the holistic approach, using those words, integrative approach, misconceptions. For folks who would normally go to their primary doctor, how do they integrate your services into what they've done and known for all of their lives?
Yeah, that's a great question. Our goal is really to try to work with other healthcare providers. That we try very hard to do that. So whether it's, hey, here's this blood work that I think that you should get that's warranted based on my value. Can you ask your primary care physician if they'd be willing to run these labs? So we can run them, but that's a way for us to bring everybody together on the same team. And even with orthopedic doctors, if it's related to more of the physical therapy aspect, just really trying to bring together as much as we can. I know it might be a forever journey to do that, but I think every person that tries is just going to make healthcare better for the patient, which is who it's about.
So can you help me understand the why and the when somebody reaches out and makes connection with you?
Yeah, so typically the why is because they're experiencing chronic pain. So they've had maybe an old injury, they've been to lots of physical therapists, orthopedics, and they just have no resolve of their issue. And then they also could have complex health conditions from autoimmune disease, cancer, they could have chronic GI issues, they could have mitochondrial issues, meaning chronic fatigue, chronic pain, etc. And so normally they've been to so many different specialists. So they've kind of gone to their primary care, they've gone to maybe a GI doc, and they don't have a cohesive approach, and they're super frustrated with the information that they're getting because there's no path to moving forward. So they just have this information, whether your labs look normal or just the opposite. It's like, this is your diagnosis, but they don't know how to actually move forward. So that's really what we're
helping those that are really have done a lot more of their own education and research, and they're just trying to have somebody that can make sense of it all and give a proper plan.
Exactly. So they're ready to take action. They're ready to have someone look at this from an integrative perspective, look at how all of their systems work together, and be able to have almost a step-by-step plan of how to move them to a better place.
We hear a lot about inflammation these days. Can you talk a little bit about kind of the keys to identifying, addressing, treating, preventing?
Yeah. So just super quickly, think our inflammation is our normal defense and repair system. So it's actually a good thing, except when it becomes more systemic or more chronic. So I think that's what you're referring to in today's world. And so with that, some of the things that we find that are extremely helpful is, one is addressing the nervous system. That's why it's such a core of our business, because that is literally what drives everything else. So when you start to see all of these different symptoms in different systems of the body, then you know that there's a core issue. Normally it's the nervous system. So daily nervous system regulation, whether that is vagus nerve exercises, that's somatic work, that's breathing, that's humming, that's meditation, is really key. Sleep would be the second thing that is frequently overlooked, because sometimes we might just not have good sleep hygiene, but then sometimes people aren't breathing well. So we see that all of the time. So, someone's waking up and they're completely depleted from a cellular level. Their nutrition, as we've already talked about, is just really thinking about nourishing through whole food diet. I won't get super specific on that, but I always just say nutrient-dense diet, nutrient-rich diet. And then movement, of course, not just because when we think about movement, sometimes it's kind of like, oh, you don't really think about it until you're hurt and you can't do it, right? And that was from my brother when he lost function of his arm and leg. Then that's what really taught me that hey, we need to never take this for granted every day. So when we think about movement, it's not just are you doing all the forms of exercise, but you're able to do what you want to do in life. Right? So if you can't move, then you can't do what you want to do. And then the last would be connection. And that could be connection to yourself, and that could be connection to your community, to the greater world. But just we are built on co-regulation with other people. And so it's really important to have some form of connection to bring you joy and balance and groundedness in your life.
Big notes here. So I know you've written a book. You do a lot of speaking engagements. Tell me a little bit about how that helps you make a bigger impact outside of this practice.
Yeah, so I like the acronym HOPE is help one person every day.
Oh, I love that.
I love to think about those avenues as ways to really help a broader audience. So I'm, always working in a one-on-one environment and then small groups and things like that. So when I can write articles and speak and, bigger events, it really gives me an opportunity to share.
You do a lot of webinars for education purposes.
Yes.
And I think that is one of the first things that people can do is just educate themselves. So I would definitely recommend people signing up for your newsletter just to be on it and see, then they can decide if they're interested in taking the next step.
Absolutely. Thank you.
So what does the future hold for the movement paradigm? What excites you about the future?
Yeah, everything. So I always have a lot of things in plan, but some of our highlights, so we're going to just started to film the first podcast, kind of getting everything underway. We're still expanding our app, so that's a way for us to that's the Movement Paradigm app that helps with whole body wellness that's accessible to everyone. So we're still continuing to expand those offerings and still continuing to just really expand the practice as well. So through that, we're doing a lot more group programs. So we just launched a men's health program. We've been doing women's health. So just really starting to expand our education. And the last but really amazing thing is our Pay It Forward initiative. So launched it early at the end of last year. And so we're really trying to do regular stories where people are submitting stories and we are going out into the community, the Pay It Forward initiative.
Pay It Forward initiative.
Yeah. And so, yes, we've done about things so far, just giving pizza to the community and giving coffee to the community, and then also did a really nice story of a woman in Downingtown. So she was struggling and we gave her a lot of good things to help her on her way.
Really wonderful. It's right in alignment with our goals for Downingtown Life.
Yay.
It's really all about connecting people to community.
That was really great getting to know you.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
So it's been wonderful being here today with Dr. Arianne Missimer at the Movement Paradigm. So check her out and keep supporting our local community. Thanks again from Downingtown Life.